What's up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, new week, new video. And I can't even say new week, new video, actually. So disregard that because yesterday I had to definitely give the Jacksonville Jaguars a piece of my damn mind after that debacle of a trade. But today is a more positive day. And we're not going to talk about the Jaguars because it's only going to make me mad. We're going to talk about how about them Cowboys. All right? How about them Cowboys? How about them? Huh? So, with that being said, we beat the Philadelphia Eagles 41-21, and it wasn't even as close as the score indicated. Early in the game, the refs gave their best Ray Charles impersonation, trying to pretend like Dak didn't score a touchdown. They allowed them to hem Dak up and slap the ball out of his hands after he clearly crossed the goal line twice, might I add, and gave the ball to the Eagles upon review. Ray Charles. They was in there like, what? Okay, listen, we can't let them completely embarrass the Eagles. Let's do something. And that's what happened. Apparently, they got a call, and they decided to do something. And it didn't work. We ended up blowing them out. And it could have been worse. All right? It could have been worse. If you were watching the game, you'd understand why. Because two of their touchdowns came at the end of the game when we kind of went into like prevent mode and just allowed. And Jalen Hurts had like windows to just march up and down the field when the game was already in hand. It were garbage time yards and touchdowns. If any complaints, it would be that I'd like to have seen them finish strong and a little more aggressive. The front four, were aggressive, but they, kind of went into shell coverage. And when that happens, yards are just there to be made. I've never been enamored with Jalen Hurts. Eagles fans, sorry to let you know that. And I know it always seems like I'm bashing on you guys. And while I am a Cowboys fan, I do try to be as non-biased as possible to give my honest opinion on situations. You guys are my rival, but I know you guys, again, think I'm hating, but I told y'all about Carson Wentz, and I ended up being right about Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's going to be, how should I put this? I don't think he's your guy. I've never been enamored with Jalen Hurts. I never got him getting benched in the championship game and Tua stepping in and winning the game for him. That's never left my mind. And then he went to Oklahoma, which he looked good, but it's a situation that makes quarterbacks look good in that system. Look at Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, and then Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts' stats were not, while good, they weren't Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield stats, though. His accuracy was significantly lower in comparison. So that was something that I'm like, okay, this is a kid that he's not really a three-step drop type of quarterback, and knows where he's going at all times. And that's not to say that he can't learn, and maybe after a few years of just taking his lumps, maybe he can develop into a better quarterback. But at the end of the day, I've always thought he's just more athlete than actual QB. And that ultimately you can win some games, but ultimately you're going to find yourself like it's just not enough, and I think that's where you're at with Jalen Hurts. I think 2-3 years, if not after this season, you might be looking for your QB of the future. In fact, the kind of system you guys are running, in my honest opinion, that from what I see, the way you with some of the screens and quick slants and stuff like that you guys are running, I actually think Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback for that system. He ran a similar system in college. So just keep in mind that when it comes to accuracy and wanting to get, your little short game going and yada, 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 Gardner Minshew's not the guy that's going to get you the ball downfield because he doesn't have the arm strength. But if you're looking for, and again, I'm not saying he's Drew Brees, but if you're looking for a Drew Brees-ish type that's going to dink and dunk you all over the place and, you scheme guys open, Gardner Minshew's your guy. So or at least your bridge to whoever the next guy is. The good news is, Eagles fans, that the good news is you're 1-2. If anything, you guys should want to lose out and maybe pick up a quarterback. I just don't think Jalen Hurts is the guy. That's just my honest opinion. But back to the game. Let me, off the Eagles fans a little bit because we're going to talk more about the Cowboys. Dak Prescott only had 5 incompletions, 21 for 26. He didn't have to do much because we were running the ball down their throat. Zeke was back with the feed me stuff, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard, 11 rushes, 60 yards. I see they're giving like whole series sometimes early in the game to Tony Pollard, which as a Cowboy fan, I'm good with because I think Tony Pollard's awesome. But as a fantasy owner of Ezekiel Elliott, I'm like, at least we got the 2 touchdowns, right? So there's that. Defensively, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Loving what I'm seeing defensively. I told you guys that this team can't run a 3-4 defense. And once we switched over to the 4-3, which is what they were built for years on, were 4-3 principles, especially cover 2 type. And they brought in Dan Quinn, who's a cover 3. Remember Seattle? He was the defensive coordinator. It was a perfect marriage. Combine that with the fact that we got the best defensive player in the draft, Micah Parsons. We were already loaded at linebacker, and just schematically, we were going to be better. But now some of our young guys are starting to show up. And let me tell you the other thing I love the most about the Cowboys this year that I think is just different from other years. Now, I'm not ready to call them a contender, so let's bring the hype down a little bit. But what I love the most about this year's Jaguars is I've said in the past, not Jaguars, Cowboys, I've said in the past that they have a tendency to read their own press clippings. They have a tendency to think, they're America's team and they walk around like that. And it's always cost them in the end. It's like they feel like they can just walk in and teams are supposed to roll over. And then they don't realize that all they've done is kind of piss a lot of other teams off, because a lot of teams want to take it to the Cowboys because we're America's team, right? And they don't tend to match that energy. That was always an issue for me. But this year, there's a beautiful thing about incentive, okay? This year, we got Dak Prescott coming back off an injury. He wants to prove himself. We have an O-line that was hurt all last year. They want to prove themselves. The O-linemen that got run last year because of the injuries now have experience. The Ezekiel Elliott, he's hearing Tony Pollard's a better running back. All right. Motivating factors are helping propel this team forward. That defense remembers we were historically bad last year. That linebacker room has hella competition, because if you're Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, just 2 years ago, they were talking about we were amongst the best linebacker tandems or rooms in the league. We went from that to historically bad defense to now Jalen Smith might get cut, to Leighton Vander Esch might not get his contract renewed, to things like that, to now, hey, we got Michael Parsons and we think he's better than y'all. There's competition in the linebacker room. So now it's put up or shut up time. We got safeties, Malik Hooker and Kazee, who are awesome safeties in other places. And because of injury or whatever, and people ruled them out, right? They ended up landing with us. So now they're trying to prove themselves. We have Trevon Diggs in his second year trying to live up to his name, the Diggs name. So there's a beautiful thing about incentive and just general motivation and competition. I think this year the Cowboys are much hungrier. And keep in mind, Neville Gallimore is not in there. DeMarcus Lawrence is hurt. We haven't even seen Kelvin Joseph yet. So I'm just curious on how much better in the other corner we can get. And this is a team that I feel like is going to keep growing, and they're hungry. Watch out for them. So that's it for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts. How do you think we're going to go going forward? Where do you see us at the end of the season? Do you guys agree, disagree? Hit me up in the comments. Please like and subscribe. All right. Peace.